to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my non-spoiler review for Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. So this is the third movie in the Fantastic Beasts story so far. I don't know how many more they're going to be going after this. I think it's another 2 or 3. But for me, I think this is the best one they've done so far in the Fantastic Beasts. I do like the last 2, but I do think this one is the best one. And I will give my likes and dislikes in a bit. So, the movie's directed by David Yates, who directed the last 2 and the last, I think, 4 Harry Potter movies as well, or 4 or 5 Harry Potter movies. Written by J.K. Rowling, done the screenplay with Steve Kloves. It is. The movie stars Eddie Redmayne returns as Newt, Jude Law as Albus Dumbledore, Ezra Miller, Credus, Dan Fogler comes back as Jacob Kowalski, same last name as me. It is. And there's a few, like, the actors plays Queenie and Newt's brother and that, they all return in this. The one notable change, which everyone knows about, is obviously Johnny Depp getting replaced by Mads Mikkelsen. Not complaining. Mads Mikkelsen, I love him as an actor. I think he's brilliant, especially as a villain. He is a brilliant actor. But it's probably going to be one of my dislikes, which I will go into. So the story is kind of a continuation from the last movie. So Grindelwald's now, like, again is, I wouldn't say an army, but he has a few loyalists with Credus, etc. You know, Queenie's still with him, and the main story is there's a big election going on where they're trying to make the new head of magic for the magic community. So you know, you have the main president or something like that. It is. So they have 2 candidates. So Grindelwald's whole plan is to get into that as well. So he does get exonerated during the first half of the movie and that. So he gets placed as a nominee as well. Just to, they're more saying, put him in there, otherwise you're going to have blood on the streets. You know, people support him, put him in, and if he loses, people won't do anything about it. So the whole thing is he has a ploy to try and cheat that, and so you have Newt, Dumbledore, etc., and the rest of the crew trying to stop him. So that's pretty much the gist of the story. I will go into my likes and dislikes. So the first thing is the acting. The acting all around is stellar. You know, you've got a good array of great actors in this movie, and that you know, Jude Law pulls it out. You know, is really, you know, gets more screen time in this one now, so you can see how good of an actor he is playing a young Dumbledore. Mads Mikkelsen does play a really good Grindelwald, but my only thing with that is, and it's not really a dislike, so I won't put in my dislike, but I like the look of Johnny Depp's Grindelwald in the last movie, and in this one it's pretty much just Mads Mikkelsen. No change whatsoever, except for the eyes, obviously, because he has 2 different colour eyes or something like that he does. But I did like Grindelwald's look with Johnny Depp a lot more. But Mads Mikkelsen, he's a menacing bad guy, and he does a really good job in this one to replace Johnny Depp as well. Ezra Miller's good in this as well. I think 2 of the standout stars are Dan Fogler, who plays Jacob Kowalski. The way he acts in this movie, especially when he starts seeing Queenie around, but she doesn't acknowledge him. You can see the heartbreak that's causing him, and I love their chemistry on screen and that together. They're really good together. The actress is Alison Sudol is it, who plays Queenie. Them 2 have got great chemistry in this movie, and he is a scene stealer in this. There's also a newcomer, Jessica Williams, who plays Lally, a new character in this from American Order. I think she comes in and helps. A scene stealer as well when she's on the screen. I hope we see a lot more of her in the later films as well. But yeah, them 2 are the real big stars. But also the Jude Law, Mads Mikkelsen, Grindelwald, Dumbledore chemistry when they're on screen together. Only a couple of scenes, I think, together you see in the movie, but each time you do, you can really see the love they have for each other, especially Dumbledore with Grindelwald, and how it's heartbreaking. You know, it is really heartbreaking that he will have to fight him one day. He will. So, but yeah, the acting is really good in this movie, and like I said, Dumbledore Grindelwald scene, you don't really see any of the back story and all that. Dumbledore talks about it a little bit and all that. So hopefully in the next movie and that, we're going to see more of a backstory in that. You know, he explains what happens to his sister and all that, and how him and his brother are not really, you know, that close and that anymore. And you know, they're in scenes together, and you know, they do talk and all that. But you can see there's a not a chasm, but there's something in between them and all that, which I can't wait to explain. Which you kind of know late if you've read the books and all that, you know what it is. And that the only thing that bugged me, I think, with most of the story and the acting is the love interest of Theseus, isn't it? Newt's brother. You know, they had a common love interest to the same woman, didn't they? And she died in the last one. So they mention it, I think, once in the movie and all that, but they seem to have got over it pretty quick, which I'm pretty disappointed with. It is, but yeah, all that CGI is really good as well. I think this takes place before World War II, isn't it? If I remember rightly, and that. So I do love that setting. How it looks, not grungy but dark, and that it's not as bright as like the Harry Potter movies where they were a bit more lighter and brighter, and that some of them were. Maybe not really the last few, but especially the first ones. But these fantastic because the setting is different, and I do like the more darker setting of these movies. That's pretty much my likes. My dislikes are the music and the score. Nothing special, unfortunately. They don't really stick out and stick with you, not like the Harry Potter one, you know, music and all. It probably is tones of that in these films, but it's the main theme normally should be sticking with you, but I'll be honest, I can't even think what it is off the top of my head right now. So that's a little bit disappointing. There's a few scenes in the middle that feels shoehorned in, especially when they have to go their separate ways. Dumbledore gives them all their own little, you know, jobs to do, and they got to go off. It felt a bit shoehorned in, like putting extra beasts in. I know it's Fantastic Beasts. They just kind of shoehorned a few beasts in just to have them in there and have a couple of funny moments, which they are funny, don't get me wrong, especially when Newt has to save his brother in like a little prison, and it's like there's like these little scorpion crab type creatures, and he's got to do a little shimmy and a dance like this and all that to keep them off him and all that. So yeah, they are funny scenes, but the scenes that just felt shoehorned just to pad out the running time of the movie. I'm not really a dislike, but the direction, David Yates, he's a capable director, but he doesn't really wow me with his directing, unfortunately, and that, you know, these are, like I said, they're competent movies that are directed by him and all. That's why he probably comes back. He doesn't do anything, in my eyes, too flashy. He's not like some directors that are out there like Nolan, Sam Raimi, etc. People like, you know, when you're watching them, you know you're watching their movies, and even if you don't know who the director is, you know you're watching their movies. David, unfortunately, I think he's just a safe director, which probably the MCU do a lot of themselves. They just play it safe with some directors. There's this one thing with the MCU I would like them to do is just let the directors do their thing and all, and show their creativity. But it's the same in this, unfortunately. And that's pretty much my dislikes. Overall, I really like this movie. I do think it's the best out of the three. I did, even though I like the first one. Probably the first one's my second favourite. The last one's my third. But I like them all. I give this one a good 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, I definitely go to the cinema to see it if you can. I think it's a cinema movie. And I said in my last review, I think Morbius is more of a streaming movie because it's not that. I don't think it was that grand. This one's a bit more. You do like with Dumbledore, Grindelwald. You do get not a lot of battle scenes in this, but you do get two good ones. You know, one in the middle with Credus and Dumbledore and Grindelwald do get their little bat, which you see in the trailer anyway, so it's not really a spoiler. It is, and they show a little glimpse of how powerful Dumbledore is when he's taking on Credus, and the battle ahead with Grindelwald, which is going to be epic when they put it on screen, hopefully. It is. But yeah, definitely can't wait for the next movies to come out. And yeah, I do recommend you go and see us in the cinema. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think of these movies or the Harry Potter ones overall. And if you'd like to see more reviews like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.